Mamuina akwaba at the bank assertive native for and Chibia near Tessa, a Cecily John Dramani Mahama. Wakoko hang a aircraft and as a private jet be our a Dubai and Yasem Kitwa or the rounds and as any Jenny our we are friends in Asia, Abrochim Japan. Yasem Kitwa 94 cents. Some of course honum the dorsal pa are the most expensive private jet partner or higher. Around almost $20,000 in just 1 hour. The same no more say the for a Kaibo and I sent Kumobo Aberto when he said, Ss John Dramani Mahama. I am very stranded in Dubai and I saw Dubai for a year 22 good hours at Enyasem Kitwa. Now, some the air lawyer poor Adum Otri, Eddie Bugu Honum Pa at Enyasem Kitwa. And if you want a lawyer, ACC, the other pounds and some. Egusua ekokota motwe ho ссrèak abasa na ese bipina kloku tinsema lawyer Paul Adom Otre kana auditor amedamu hina ase
may the departed rest in peace. That was a brilliant coming together last Friday of all Ghanaians to bury our own dead, and very, very tragic and traumatic. Sunday I saw smiles on people's faces at the Christ the King. And it was refreshing to see that some of the people who had shed brutal tears on Sunday looked better. The choir, the Christ the King Church was amazing. The music was good, and the commandery among Ghanaians from all walks of life was very good. By midday at Christ the King, it looked like things were settling down. But you know, it happens late in the night when you go back to bed, and you remember that what has happened, and it's quite debilitating, isn't it? Anyway. Good evening again and welcome. I don't know how many times I'm saying good evening to you. I'm very, very sad for two reasons today. The first reason why I'm sad is that we're reading on social media today that President John Dramani Mahama had to be in Dubai for 22 hours waiting for a connecting flight. Let me get on a touch screen and let's try and understand some of these controversies and difficulties that happen. You know, viewers, we have to build our country. And we have to build our country on credibility and credible stories. Why did the president of Ghana is operating about a $62 billion economy these days. Remember that when John Kufuor became president in 2000, the economy was $4 billion. By the time he was leaving office in 2008, the economy was $16 billion. He quadrupled it. By the time the NDC were leaving in 2016, it was something like 50-something billion. By the time Akufo-Addo was leaving in 2024, it's 62 billion. That's growth. But why must a country like that? Now, we are a country that needs to be marketing ourselves. Ghana is a country that needs to be marketing ourselves because we have come from a history like many other developing and African countries where the narrative that has gone out about our country is not the narrative that we have generated. And that's why people come here for December to remember. Is that how we call it? People come here for December to remember or Dirty December, however you want to call it. And they are surprised that we don't live on trees, and they are surprised that we ride in cars and all of that. Because the narrative that has gone outside about our country is not controlled by us, was never controlled by us. It was controlled by other people. So we find ourselves in a situation where we have been able to build, but we need to tell that story. Therefore, anybody who is a president of Ghana is a chief marketing officer of the Republic of Ghana, perhaps of ECOWAS as well, and perhaps of Africa as well. If the Nigerian president goes out to market Nigeria, he's marketing it on behalf of Africa. If the Ghanaian president goes out, so a president going out of his country would happen many times. And it doesn't happen for the same reason. The American president goes out to establish American authority. Ghanaian president goes out to market the nation and tell the people that this is Ghana, not what you think, this is how it looks like. We now have the opportunity for our presidents to tell the narrative from our perspective. But because of politics, bad politics. Mr. President, we are sorry, we are really sorry. President of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, was traveling from Accra to Japan, 20,238 kilometers. Japan is 9 hours ahead of Ghana. So what's the time right now? So it's 9:36 in Accra. The time in Japan is 9 hours. Japan is 9 hours ahead. So it's 9 o'clock So you go from 9, 10, 11, 12. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. It's 6:30 a.m. in Japan. The president traveled 20,000 kilometers. He traveled, as the story says, on Emirates, which is okay, which is understandable, which we appreciate. He traveled on Emirates airline. He traveled in first class, quite comfortable, and then he got to Dubai. We understand that in Dubai, from Kofi Tonto and others on social media, that the president left Ghana on Sunday evening but arrived in Japan just today. He waited 22 hours in Dubai, had to use a train for about 2 hours to Tokyo, from Tokyo to Yokohama. As Empire FM said it, the president had to suffer because of petty politics. Yes, petty politics. Petty politics. Politics that is power. It's a president, so much so that another person becomes president and he's afraid to make a decision in the interest of the president's safety, in the interest of the president's comfort so that he can think, in the interest of the president's security so that he's confident to present his case. President of Ghana is sitting at a location in Dubai, 22 hours. What kind of security is provided for him over there? He's not in the comfort of his Jubilee house, where all the security is available. The Ghana Armed Forces are available. The Ghana Police Service is available. National security is available. But here, he's in a location outside his country, and he's not in his own plane. He's sitting in a location 22 hours. Why? Because of terrible politics. Bad politics. Never again. We should never encourage that again. People encouraged it. Hey, Akufo-Addo is bad. He's bathing in the air. He can't bath in the air. When Dominic Mitchell stood before Parliament and said that the presidential jet is not fit for purpose and that the president cannot even freshen up in it. Hey, come and see cartoon. But the cartoon, they had the Daily Guide guy, what's his name? I can't remember his name. There's a TV3 guy. Both of them are very good. Tilapia put cartoon. Then they have Akufo-Addo with some boxer shorts and he's holding a pail. He's pouring water on himself and he's sitting in some aircraft. And one by one, the votes of the party was winning away. Ghanaians were getting upset because they trust politicians. And this politician here wanted to make a meal out of something that was about national security. So President Akufo-Addo travels, he comes. Oh, Akufo-Addo thinks we don't know. He traveled and he came back in a private jet. He arrived at 1 a.m. I saw him. He thinks that he's hiding. People caution that this is very dangerous. Publishing the president's itinerary is very dangerous. Nobody listened. Of course, the prices were high. So if prices are high, we all don't listen. I'm guilty, and that's why I'm rendering an apology to the president. I'm guilty. I had occasion to go and complain. Why is the president flying this, Other people complained. I remember in one of my complaints, one of them, I won't mention his name, he said, oh, clear off. Why are you following the NDC propaganda? And I said, this NDC propaganda is going to cost us the election. I'm guilty. I feel very guilty. Because I love President Mahama. He's a nice guy. People love him. Why should he? If President Mahama is not president of Ghana, I can assure you, he's not going to sit in any airport for 22 hours. Why would he do that? Why is he going to do that? The only reason why President Mahama had to be cocooned in an airport for 22 hours is because he's president of Ghana.